What is the deal, YouTube? What is the deal, YouTube? Hard hitting sports in your face. Um, I actually wanted to make this video a few days ago, but I did not get an opportunity to make it. I was pretty fucking busy. So, um, tonight is the night, first preseason game, which I'm not a like. I know fans that get very happy about preseason games. I'm just not one of those people. Um, Other than like the third preseason game. The third preseason game, you usually get to see your starters versus the other team starters for about two quarters, and we kind of get a glimpse of what our team is actually going to look like going into the regular season. And even then, offensive game plans are usually very vanilla. You don't want to show too much of what you have in store for the other team uh, for the other teams. I'm sorry, in that last preseason, in that that third preseason game. But there are a few things that I'm going to be very interested in seeing tonight. So I want to lay those things out. Some of the things that I really want to see. Um, what's going to happen? The first thing, of course, I want to see the play of Matt Moore. I want to see how Matt Moore plays with the first team offense. I don't know how much of the first team offense he's going to get to play with. I don't know if he's going to get to play with all three of the wide receivers. Not really sure how that's going to work, but we'll see exactly how much of the offense we're going to get to see. We're going to get to see how much of the first team offensive line we'll get to see out there with Matt Moore. And I want to see how Matt Moore does in this start before Jay Cutler is probably going to take over the starting role in the second preseason game, possibly. All right. The second thing I want to see is the things that are going on, of course, with the offensive line. I don't know how many of our offensive linemen are going to play. That's actually going to be day one starters, but I want to see how the offensive line looks versus this Falcons defense. It's not a great defense, but if you remember in last year's Super Bowl, that big guy up the middle gave Tom Brady all kinds of hell. I don't even remember his name, but he gave Brady all types of hell, sacking him like three times in the first half of that game before him and several other players on that D line really got tired in the second half. But I'm really interested to see um, how those guys play. The third thing that I'm really going to be interested in seeing is I don't know if Freeman is going to play. I don't know if Coleman is going to play, but I want to see how our linebackers, and I don't know who we're going to start at linebacker, but I don't know if Timmons and Raekwon and Kiko is going to start up front. But I'm really interested to see how our line and linebackers deal with that running game. I don't know how much we're going to see of it, but I'm really interested in seeing how we deal with those things. And the number four thing that I would like to see is the guys who are on the bubble at those wide receiver positions. I want to see how Carew plays tonight. I want to see how Grant deals with his troubles in the special teams. All of those things are interesting to me for tonight's game. You know what I mean? Oh, but the biggest thing in any preseason game, the biggest thing for me, as it should be with any Dolphins fan, is no injuries. No fucking injuries. Want to walk into this preseason game and come out of this preseason game with the same amount of injuries that we went into it with. No key people hurt. Um, that's with all of these preseason games. I know it's bound to happen with some team. No, I don't even want to say that because that's gonna sound crazy. I was gonna say I hope it doesn't happen to us, but I don't want to risk injury. I don't you know, talk injuries to anybody. I don't want anybody in the NFL to get injured. You know what I mean? Even though there's a lot of teams that I fucking can't stand, I wouldn't wish injury on them over a sport. You know? All right. So, second part of this video, let's get right into that second part of the video. The second part of the video is the schedule, and I'm giving you. I think I gave my schedule my thoughts on this schedule Before Ryan Tannehill was injured, I gave you my thoughts on this schedule. I think I had us at 11-5 before the Tannehill injury. Some people didn't agree with me on that. Like people were like 11-5. Hell no, we're not gonna win. I thought we could have won 11-5, 11 games, 5 losses. And the reason why is I expected our defense to step up and become a top 15 defense, and I expected the offense to be top 7. That's where I had it at. I had Ryan Tannehill having one hell of a season. I had Ryan Tannehill throwing for at least 35 touchdowns in this season. I thought he was going to absolutely explode. One, based on I thought that he has that chemistry now with the 3 wide receivers that we have, in Parker, Stills, and Landry. Then you add Thomas, and you bring back a strong Jay Ajayi. I thought Jay Ajayi was going to run for about 1,200 yards, and I really felt like Tannehill, along with Parker's and Stills, were ready to take this offense to the next level. Now we bring in Jay Cutler, and it's a special set of circumstances with Jay Cutler. It's not the same. It's not the same. People are quick to tell me that Adam Gase had a great season with Jay Cutler as the quarterback, right? Well, that team was 6-10, and in 2015, the Chicago Bears were 25th in pass attempts in the NFL, meaning that what this meant was they didn't throw the ball with Jay Cutler a lot. You know what I mean? They simply didn't throw the ball with him a lot. And they still went 6-10. He still turned the ball over 17 times in that season. He had 11 interceptions and 6 fumbles in that 2015 season. And in that 2015 season, the Bears were 5th in rushing. 5th, meaning the Bears ran the ball a hell of a lot. And I think that same formula has to apply to this season. Like we have to run the ball, which is why my statistics for a guy for us to be successful with a Jay Cutler who comes into this season prepared to go in the booth with the history that he has of 20 plus turnovers in a season. We need a workhorse back to do what he does, man. We need Jay Ajayi to have 1,700 yards. He's got to. We need to play with the lead, especially with this schedule. You look at the schedule we have. The first game is going to be Tampa Bay. That Tampa Bay offense, with on paper right now, with Mike Evans, Deshaun Jackson, the young tight end that they just drafted, that offense is explosive as shit. That's an offense that we're going to have to score maybe 30 points to beat. Maybe. I got to see what the defense looks like. But if our secondary isn't improved off of what it was last year, yeah, that our offense is going to have to keep up. It's got to. We might be able to stop Doug Martin. I think the linebacker core and the defensive line is going to be improved. I don't know about the secondary. I don't know if Howard and Maxwell are ready to deal with Mike Evans, Deshaun Jackson, and that tight end that they have. I don't know, especially that tight end, because I still don't think we have a good matchup for the tight end. I don't. Not yet. I can't. I have to see it. The Chargers. The Chargers have Phillip Rivers at quarterback. They went and they tried to improve their offensive line. They took Lamp. He is hurt. They took Mike Williams as a wide receiver. He's hurt. I don't know how much improvement the Chargers have actually made, because it looks like the moves that they made to improve their team went away before they even played one single game. It's like, if I was a Charger fan, I would be down in the dumps right now. So that's a possible winnable game. The Tampa Bay game, I'm on the fences about. You know what? I'm gonna go with a loss in the Tampa Bay game. I think we lose the Tampa Bay game simply because I don't think our offense is gonna be able to keep up. And when we do try to keep up, they have very opportunistic cornerbacks out there in the secondary that will take that ball away. And our quarterback is known for giving that ball away. That's if Cutler starts, right? The Chargers, I'm going to give us the win on that one. I think we can beat the Chargers. I don't think they've made enough improvements, and I don't think they have enough weapons. Phillip Rivers is a good quarterback, but I don't think he has enough weapons. Gordon, I think we're going to be able to stop Gordon. And the weapons that he has outside, I don't think they're great. New York Jets. That's a win. Yeah. All right. So we're 2-1 right there. Then we face the New Orleans Saints. That's a loss. We're 2-2. I don't think we're going to be able to keep up with the New Orleans Saints offense. Even though their defense is trash, I don't think we'll be able to keep up with their offense. I just don't. Next, the Tennessee Titans. Tennessee is interesting because they're building. They have a rock solid offensive line. They have DeMarco Murray. They have that other running back. I think he came from Alabama. And their defense is decent. They have a decent defense. So this is one of those games that's going to be very close, I feel. I feel this game will come down to the last possession. It will come down to who can make a play without making a mistake, Marcus Mariota or Jay Cutler. And in that instance, I have to go with Mariota. Got to. So I'm going to put that down as an L as well. Then we play the Falcons. The Falcons are going to be very interesting because I have to see what happens. Sometimes when a team goes to the Super Bowl and they don't win it, they come back and they're not as good of a team. We've seen that. We saw that last year with the Carolina Panthers. So I really have to see which Falcon team shows up. I mean, they might come back and be absolute trash. They might. It's a possibility. Or they could come back and be just as strong, you know? But sometimes, a lot of times, when a team goes to the Super Bowl and they lose, especially the way that they lost that game, being up 28-3, they might come back. But that offense is going to be another one that's going to be hard to stop. Julio Jones is a nightmare for almost any secondary. If he's healthy, he's a problem. Mohamed Sanu. Then they have that young cornerback. They have those running backs. I'm not so much worried this year about the running game of other teams as I was last year because I know we got Kiko, we got Timmons, we got Raekwon up front. I think we're going to do a much better job stopping the run this year than we did last year. But still, I had us losing this game with Tannenhill. I'm gonna have us losing this game with the with Jay Cutler. Now, let me tell you this real quick though, and I have to explain this to people. This is me taking this shit from a sports analyst perspective. Complete sports analyst perspective is what you're getting right now. You're not getting the Homer fan. You're getting the sports analyst perspective. Now, from a Homer, we're going 16 and fucking 0 until that bell rings. Until that final second ticks off the clock, I don't care who we're playing. I am a Dolphin fan, and we will win every fucking game. But from a realistic analyst perspective, that's what we're talking about right now. That's what this video is. All right? Right. Next game, New York Jets. That's a win. All right, so I've given us I've given us 3 wins so far, right? Baltimore Ravens, they kick our ass every single time they play us. I don't know what it is about the Baltimore Ravens, but every since I was younger, man, the Baltimore Ravens have always kicked our ass. And the one time I remember beating them, they had Matt Schaub at quarterback, and we still barely beat them. Now, I don't know who their quarterback is going to be. If it's Joe Flacco, that's an L. If it's I forget who that guy they signed, or whoever the hell that guy they signed. If it's that guy, we got a chance. But still, it's You know what? This could possibly be a W if it's that guy, because that'll be an offense that we don't have to keep up with. But they're so good at stopping the run. That's the problem. They're good up front. They have solid linebackers. They're going to stop our run, and they're going to force us to throw the ball at them. Last year, Tannehill was picked off 3 times versus his team. We can't fall behind. I know they don't have Flacco. We cannot fall behind. That's if they don't. The Oakland Raiders. I think that's a team that's on the rise, and I think that's going to be an L with Cutler. I think so. Now, the bright spot is here's the bright spot. The bright spot is their defense is not great. They have some. This one might be close. This is going to be week 9. So all of these weeks up here will prepare us to make those adjustments. And if you notice last year, the way we came out 1-4, we made adjustments and they start coming home around later in the season. You saw some of those adjustments come out. Now, I mean, you saw more of a commitment to the run. Adam Gase showed that he could do that shit. You know what I mean? So maybe by week 9, see, I'm starting to think like a homer instead of thinking about, because I want to give us this game, but the sports analyst in me is saying, hell nah, y'all ain't winning that game. Right? Okay. So I'm going to put that down as an L as well. Carolina, of course, last year they were the Super Bowl team before, and they came out and they laid an absolute egg, an abysmal season with Cam Newton going in and out of the lineup. This year they're fairly healthy. They have a great tight end. Calvin Benjamin looked very good last night in the preseason. They have a exciting young Marshall Falkish type running back. I fucking love that kid from what I've seen. He's fast, he's elusive, and on the edge, he is a problem. And he's going to be a matchup nightmare versus linebackers in space. He is. He's going to be a fucking problem. I saw him make Luke Kuechly look like an ass in practice. If he can do that shit to Luke Kuechly, trust me, he can do that shit to any linebacker in the NFL. That young kid is going to be a problem, a serious problem. His all-purpose yardage this year, both catching and rushing, if Carolina uses him correctly, he's going to be a matchup nightmare. Matchup nightmare. So, but the Carolina secondary is not that great. Hopefully by this time, Cutler and our receivers have that chemistry down. But still, it's a lot of ifs and maybes. This game right here, I'm going to put down as a close. I'm going to leave this game as a toss because I don't know what Carolina team is going to show up. Is last year's Carolina team going to show up? The defense without their cornerback that left and went to the Redskins did not look that great. So I'm going to leave this game as a toss game for us. All right. The New England Patriots in Week 12 is a loss. With Jay Cutler especially, it's a loss. It's at New England in Foxborough. That's a loss. It would have been close with Tannehill. We had a possibility of beating with Tannehill, but there's no way in hell we're going to beat them with Cutler as an analyst. Right? The Denver Bronco game is going to be a good one. That one is going to be a good one because neither one of our teams has a great quarterback. Unless Paxton Lynch or Simeon is able to show us something, I think we'll shut down Anderson, and I think we'll make this into a dogfight. This game right here will come down to who can make the least mistakes. This is from, Cutler, 11-year-old man, and a rookie. That shit's up in the air. And I know Paxton Lynch isn't really a rookie. Simeon isn't really a rookie, but I'm saying a young quarterback. Let me say it like that. But I think that game is going to be real, real close. I think that game will come down to who makes the last mistake. So I'm going to leave that game as a toss game. New England versus us. down here in our home. It's another one, man. It's another one. We fall behind in this game, and the route is on. I'm serious. If we have to depend on Cutler to shoot it out with Tom Brady, we in trouble. Now we could come out and we could pound them, run the ball, and Jay Cutler only has to throw the ball 15, 20 times, we got a chance. If Jay Cutler has to put the ball up 35 times against New England, we in trouble. We are in trouble. Point blank period. We in trouble. And we cannot fall behind. Buffalo. Buffalo is a team that normally plays us tight. Um, all of the games versus Buffalo are usually very good games, normally. Uh, Tyrod Taylor right now is the second best quarterback in the AFC East right now. I still think the game is going to be close, but again, it's going to come down to who can make the least amount of mistakes. Tyrod Taylor and his stats does not have the turnover numbers that Jay Cutler has. I got to go with Buffalo. I got to. Kansas City has Alex Smith. Once again, Alex Smith is another one of those guys that does not turn the ball over a lot. Their defense is solid. They have a solid secondary led by Eric Berry. They have one of the better young cornerbacks in Marcus Peters, a guy who, remember 5 years ago? Well, not 5 years ago. Remember a few years ago when we were about to draft Devontae Parker? That video is still on my channel, and I was fucking pissed because I felt like we should have got Marcus Peters. Remember that shit? He's had what, 2 Pro Bowl seasons now? Now that doesn't mean that I don't like Devontae Parker, because I think Devontae Parker is gonna break out this year. He should have broken out this year. With Tannenhill, I felt like he was gonna have a monster season. With Jay Cutler, all of that shit's up in the air. It's not the same chemistry. So I just don't know. I don't know what to expect from him anymore. The only person I think is gonna get their numbers, the same numbers that I would expect, is Jarvis Landry. Jarvis Landry is the only receiver that I feel like will have the same consistent numbers. Everybody else is up in the air. Kenny Stills is up in the air. Devontae Parker is up in the air. They're all up in the air right now. The guys who I think will have the consistent numbers will be Jarvis Landry and Thomas. If Thomas can stay healthy, I believe Cutler with Parker and Thomas will be the guys who are the most efficient receivers that we have on the team. And the reason why I say that is because Jarvis Landry is going to get most of the short yardage, short to intermediate passes. Same thing with Thomas. The deeper guys, I feel like there's going to be problems. At least early. At least early. At least the first 4 or 5 games. At least. Now, if Matt Moore is the quarterback, then we can have that discussion. Because I think Matt Moore has been with these guys all the time. I think he has some chemistry. You saw him when he came in last year. He lit it up. He threw 8 touchdowns and 3 picks. Matt Moore has a better chance for Parker and Stills to continue with the numbers that I was predicting earlier than Cutler, a guy who never played with these guys, a guy who came straight out of thinking that he was going into the booth, a guy who has a history of 20+ turnovers. I mean, all right. Then we play Buffalo, which is the last game, and I honestly think at this point, Buffalo is still fighting for a wild card playoff spot. I think so. I think so. And I think that would be another L. So I gave us the Charger game and the 2 Jet games, and the Denver game I gave it as a toss. Those are the games I think that we win. So I have it at either 3-13 or 4-12. That you know what though? That is without seeing a single playoff, a single preseason game, a single one. That's without seeing a single solid preseason game. We aren't playing Julio or Gabe tonight. Cool. Y'all can y'all can beat the Saints. I don't know about that. Come on, be a Dolphin in your predictions. You know something about the upcoming draft? I have no idea. I have no idea. 4-12. Yeah. But yeah, that is where I have it at. Um that's my prediction as far as what we have right now and what I see. If we fall behind in football games as of right now, what I know about the history of the quarterback we have right now, we in trouble. We are in trouble. And not only does this man throw interceptions, he throws stupid interceptions. Interceptions that don't make sense. Just crazy. Like what the fuck is this? What is he doing? What is that? And he has a history of doing it consistently. Now, in all fairness, you know what? I fucking forgot what I was about to say. But yeah, man, that is my thoughts on it. No injuries, please, please, no injuries for this preseason game. We'll probably get to see Drake a little tonight. Get to see how he looks. I don't know if we're going to see Damian Williams much this tonight. I want to see a little bit of Storm Johnson. I haven't heard much about him, but I would like to see what he looks like. Um, I'm not completely sold on Damian Williams as a second back. I would love it if we could have a two-headed monster back there without having to, overwork Jay Ajayi. But Drake isn't a workhorse back. Drake is the type of, Drake is more of a scat back to me. Drake is a change of pace type guy from what I've seen. And Damian Williams, I don't know. So I would love a guy like a Storm Johnson or the other back that we picked up. I think he was out of Michigan. He was a free agent. That guy right there. I would love to see one of those guys come in and be that second monster to sit next to Jay Ajayi. That would be great. When Jay Ajayi goes to the bench, another guy who runs just as physical, just as hard, that you have to deal with him as well. That would be something that defenses would not like to see. But yeah, um, after the game tonight, we'll come back. We'll talk about what exactly I saw. I am going to be joining. I am going to be joining. Tannehill throws interceptions too. It's not like Ryan Tannehill doesn't throw interceptions. Oh God, y'all want to have this conversation? I want to have this conversation with me. All right, let's have this conversation. Oh boy, you know. Come on now. If you know me, you know that I will break. You know I will break out the stats. You know I'm a stat and I'm a video guy. I don't know why you're challenging me. I don't know why you're challenging me. But if you want to do this, let's do this shit. You ready? All right, here's Ryan Tannehill's stats. As a rookie, he threw 12 touchdowns and 13 interceptions. Second season, 12 and 17. And ever since the 2013 season, Ryan Tannehill has thrown no more than 12 picks per season. Let me blow this up so you can get a clear look at it. You see it? Second season was his worst. That was a 12 and 17 season, right? And every other season that Ryan Tannehill has, he's thrown 12 picks per season. See it? Cool. Here is the stats for Jay Cutler. First season, 5 picks. Second season, 14 picks. Third season, 18 picks. Fourth season, 26 picks. Fifth season, 16 picks, 14, 18. What are you talking about? It's not close. Ryan Tannehill's worst season was his second. This man is in his fourth season throwing 26 picks. What you talking about? It's not close. It's not close. In 2014, Jay Cutler threw 18 picks. It's not close. Ryan Tannehill threw 12. Then the man fumbled. The man fumbled 9 damn times. This man consistently turns the ball over 20 times a season. Consistently. Look at it. How can you how can you play winning football when your quarterback is like a prostitute on Saturday night, just giving it away? How? Oh yeah, they get paid. But whatever. You know what the fuck I mean. Okay, he's like a thought at the club on Saturday night. He's just giving it away. He giving it away. How? How? Let me look at these comments. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. He is an interception machine. He's an interception machine. Look at his stats. Look at his stats. Base it off of stats. Base it off his stats. And the guy that they were talking about, and why I supported bringing Colin Kaepernick to this team over Jay Cutler is, again, it's in the stats. It's in the stats. It's in the stats. It's real simple to me. You have a team that's going to be playing a lot of close games versus a lot of tough teams, right? In 2011, he didn't play, so I can't really base anything. 2012, he threw 3 picks. 2013, he threw 8 picks. 14, 10 picks. 15, 5 picks. See, you know what? It's kind of hard, though, because these seasons, he didn't play full seasons. So it's kind of rough to compare numbers when one guy doesn't have them. But all right, here's 2 full 16 seasons. 21-8, 19-10. Come on, man. He's not a high turnover quarterback. Not only is he not a high turnover quarterback, but he's a quarterback that has the ability with his legs to improvise. We have an offensive line that's been shaky, right? So we have an offensive line that's been shaky, and then you put an immobile pocket passer behind that line. You have a line that has Mike Pouncey going in and out of the line, right? And then you're gonna put, I don't know, man. It's rough. And yeah, I understand that that Kaepernick is not a very accurate quarterback all the time. He's not a pocket passer. Did you see that ass offense the 49ers had? Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. When are you talking about? Last year when he had no receivers? Sure. Fins have a good team. We're going to the playoffs. I hope so. I hope, and this is just my hope, I hope I'm able to look at these videos after this season and go, God damn, I was way off. I was way off. And then at that point, it's going to leave us with another situation. Because if Cutler comes in here, and let's say Cutler comes in here and just kills it. Let's say he comes in here and he kills the fucking season. He comes in here and he lights it up like I thought Ryan Tannehill was going to have. He comes in here, he has a 35-12 season. He stays relatively healthy. He doesn't miss games. He doesn't throw stupid ass picks. He throws 35 touchdowns, 12, 13 interceptions, has a over 4,000 yard season, decent QBR, decent completion ratio, decent third down conversion ratio, and we go to the playoffs. Now we're stuck with a $10 million quarterback and a $20 million quarterback, and it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. Going to be very interesting to see what happens, because like I know, quarterbacks are playing until they're 40 right now. So what that would do, if Cutler comes in here, Cutler having a great season would be the best case scenario. Would be the best case scenario for the Dolphins. If Cutler came in here, had a great season, stayed healthy, we could go out, draft the quarterback of the future, sit him behind Cutler for a couple years, 2-3 years, and maybe get rid of an injury-prone quarterback. It would be interesting. And we would get $20 million off the books. That would open up a lot more money for other players and keep the $10 million quarterback. It would be very interesting. Even if Cutler doesn't light it up, I don't see Tannehill coming back. I don't know. We shall see. Anyway, man, hey, make sure you guys follow me on Twitter. The Twitter handle is @Casuwell. That's @KASUWELL. At 7 o'clock well, not 7 o'clock. We're somewhere around, let's say 9:30, 10 o'clock. We'll come back. We'll go live. We'll talk about everything that I saw. I'm probably going to be streaming the entire game on my Facebook page, maybe. So I'll probably have the entire game streaming up on my Facebook page for folks who are not able to watch the game. I'm trying to figure out a way to do it. I know there's a couple ways to do it, but I'm going to try to figure out the best way to do it and hope that they don't strike me down for copyrights or some shit like that. So, we shall see. We shall fucking see. We shall see. I will talk to you guys next time. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Hard hitting sports in your face. Cooler than the other side of the pillow. Let's go, Miami! I'm out. Peace.